okay, I know we've tried this 2,000 times, but this one's going to work. This one, you watch, this one's going to work. Flip. Oh, well, it didn't work, but I got an idea for the next one. Hey guys, I'm J-Rad with Think Hero. This is the ABCs of hero thinking. D for discovery. D for discovery. Thomas Edison, maybe you've heard of him before, but he's a big discovery man. He's made a ton of inventions. Many of them have failed, many succeeded, but each of them he made some sort of discovery to push technology forward every single time. He was fanatical about that, about discovery, discovery, discovery. By the time he was 31 years old, he was already a pretty famous inventor, and the scientific community hated him. Hated him. They're like, oh, we don't need this brash, cocky promoter type around our societies. He's just doesn't fit the mold. He's not educated enough. He's not demure enough. But Thomas Edison, the wild man of science, he didn't care. He wanted to be where the action was. And in 1878, he heard about this total eclipse that was going to happen. He's like, I need to invent something to tell something about this eclipse. So he invented this thing that he was going to be able to measure the temperature of the sun if in a full eclipse, and no one had ever done this before. So he tinkers it up, makes it in his lab. He's like, this is going to be it. So he jumps on a train and rolls across the country out west to the high plains of Wyoming. And he gets out this tiny town, and there's all these eminent scientists from around the world, eminent professors from around the world that are gathered in this little western dusty town. And in rolls Tom Edison, fancy man, wild man of science. He shows up, and everyone's like, yeah, this guy, whoa. Nobody wants to room with him. Nobody wants to talk with him. And they have the day of the eclipse, and he whips out his machine and he shoots it up to take the temperature of the sun, and it doesn't work at all. Doesn't work at all. He tries it multiple times. He's tinkering with it. He barely sees the eclipse because his machine is engrossing him, but it doesn't work. And he says that it's because my machine was too sensitive, actually working too well, that I can't get a reading on this thing. So he made some specific discoveries about this machine that he built to measure the coronal temperature of the sun. But that was kind of immaterial. He sort of dropped that one because on that trip, he made another discovery. He made another discovery with all these big minds of science and talking about the next great thing and what the next thing will be. He put it together that, you know what I want to invent now? I want to invent a light bulb and a power station. So the power station can power the bulb, and the bulb can go everywhere. This is big thinking, way beyond any of these stuffy scientist types. And he's bold, he's going for it. So he rolls back to his machine shop and starts inventing. Now, he didn't invent the light bulb. That had already been done. They'd already done outdoor lighting with these 2 points, and they'd arc electricity between them, and it would light up the sky. And someone else had developed an actual incandescent bulb where they had a vacuum tube and a filament inside, and it was creating light. But it was made of titanium or platinum or something. It was just impractically expensive. But it had been done. It had been done. And Edison was putting two and two together. He says, okay, people are going to want this. People are going to want to turn on the light at night when it's dark for the long winter. They're going to want to have lights in rooms inside their house without a candle, making all this smoke. They have to scrub their ceiling every spring. People are going to want this. But people are also going to need electricity for this to work. So I'm going to have some power plants that are generating electricity to light these bulbs. It's like, this is going to be a big project, but I think I'm up for it. So we're going to go for it. He goes back to his lab in Menlo Park and he starts inventing and he starts making discoveries, especially on his failures. So he tries the vacuum tube with these different kind of things. They don't work. He tries a piece of glass with no vacuum. It doesn't work at all. And he tries bamboo shoots, and those don't work. And he tries exotic flowers from Africa, those don't work. And he tries exotic tree fibers from Borneo, those don't work either. None of this stuff is working. But he is making discoveries every single time. Every single failure, he's making new progress into the unknown world of science and of technology. It's getting a little frustrating though by 500 and nothing's working. He doesn't have a project to show for it yet. But he keeps at it. He tries some rubber plants and he tries some metal fibers. Fail, 1,000 failures. And then he tries, okay, let's go non-metallic. And that doesn't work. And he tries, let's go gingerbread. Wow, that doesn't work either. Nothing is working. But he's very confident that something will work. So he keeps going, 1,000 failures, nothing. 2,000 failures, nothing. 2,500 failures. Imagine that. 2,500 failures. Would you keep going? Would you keep going after all of that? Would you reassess of, hey, maybe this ain't such a good idea, or maybe there's another way to do it, or maybe this is just a complete fabrication imagination? His vision was strong enough. He's like, you know what? This has been done. I'm just going to discover the way to do it better. So he keeps experimenting 2,600 times, 2,700 times. And finally, on the 2,744th time, he flips that switch and the light bulb lights. And instead of popping, it stays on. It stays on. And it stays on. They leave it on. And they go out of the room and they come back in and it's still on. And they turn it off and flip the switch and it comes back on again. And they've done it. They've done it. They discovered how to make a commercially viable light bulb. Imagine all those dark rooms now being able to be lit. Imagine these lights without it. Be sitting in the dark here, not being able to do anything, not even read a book. But Thomas Edison, he discovered the way to make this bulb and many other things. What an inspiration. What an inspiration. If you liked this, please like, subscribe, and share. And let me know what illuminates you. Who inspires you? I'm J-Rad at Think Hero.